I gotta get it recorded, man. Start putting it in there. Yo, what's up, everybody?
Let's work it.
This is King Shinobi. This is Mr. Smoov.
You know
We
it.
back
you know
once
it.
again. We back once again with my brother, mi familia.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man, we back for another episode of the Shinobi podcast. The podcast you can gain some knowledge, you can gain some insight.
Enlightenment.
You might some enlightenment. You might disagree with some things we say, but we're still gonna say them.
Point blank.
Yeah, man, you can find some truth through our eyes. So it's not the truth, but it's truth through our eyes. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, thank you guys for joining us once again. Thank you everyone who's been watching every episode, who's been commenting, who's been supporting, who's been giving feedback. We appreciate it. It continues to fuel us as we go on this journey. And I really appreciate you guys. We appreciate you guys.
Sure.
So, Mr. Smoov, man, what you gotta say to the people, bro? How you feeling today?
I'm good, man. Much love to y'all because I've had some people actually ask me during the week, and I've had some people trying to figure out how to jump on here and watch it.
Yeah?
Yeah, trying to see us live.
Man, you gotta give me their emails.
Even surprisingly, how to like they're like, oh, I didn't even know you had a podcast at all, and I'm like, gotta be modest there. I'm like, it's a group thing here. I was like, we're a team here, so it's not my podcast. It's like it's our team.
No doubt.
We had to share that this week, so that's been eye opening to see people like, oh snap, like I wonder what you got to say now, outside of work and outside of work and outside of everything, like what you got to say. So
yeah, man, I like
it's
that.
been really eye opening. So I
Sparking that curiosity.
Yeah. Oh yeah. My homeboy just asked me before we even got on here. He's like, yo, let me on. And I was like, you gotta come on as a guest right now, or as an audience member right now, homie. Like,
let me on.
Gotta prep for you to come in. Gotta prep for you to come on, homie. Like,
and nigga, I don't even know you.
I'm like, come on, man. Like, come on. So I'm like, the link. I'm like, you got all the links, man. All you gotta do is just jump in there and listen. You can ask questions. You can do all that. So,
well, since this came up, anybody who would like to be on it, like, you have to realize that we have to be selective with who we allow on our platform. You know what I'm saying? This is not only a platform, it's also a brand that we're building, so we have to be selective with those things. So we can't just have everybody just popping up on the podcast. It's like, you need to have some value to add to the discussion, the conversation, So we will be very selective with who we have on our platform, So
most definitely.
If you got something to say,
gotta be real.
Some interesting things to say, then that's all well.
Come on. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
What else has surprised you since the podcast has started, as far as like reactions or?
So we just premiered episode 6 today. And I know the other day you sent it to me, and I was like, yo. I was like, can you believe we're on episodes? Like, we're getting ready to start episode 7. Like, we are on episode 7 right now.
Mm-hmm.
And at one point, this was just like a legit like goal, a dream of ours to do. And here we are, 7 episodes in deep.
This is 8. You remember? Because last was 7. Last week was 7.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We're ahead on this one. I'm so
happy. I'm so happy that we're ahead. Like,
you see what I mean? You see what I mean? Like we are ahead. Like
somehow I figured out a way to. And it's been some long nights too, but I've been figuring out a way to keep us like ahead of the loop. You know what I'm saying? Because I do not want to be behind. It's being behind is not an option. You gotta stay ahead of the game. It's not. And it's different because like when we first started out, I would be getting things done like down to the wire. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But after all those weeks and all the consistencies that we've had, I've been able to like figure out this process to now get us ahead of the game, you know what I'm saying, and not fall behind.
Oh yeah,
you know, and that's still a learning process though. I'm still learning that process, you know, because you got to fit in everything that's going on in your life. You have to fit that in as well. Mm-hmm. So, but when you want to make it happen, you make it happen, bro. That's all it is to it.
For sure, for sure. It's a two-man crew right now, so. Mm-hmm. We gotta do the heavy lifting as much as possible until the team is right. So,
and everybody is doing once that takes care of what they need to do on their own end. You know what I'm saying?
Makes everything so much smoother. So
that's when things really come together, man. When everybody's not only carrying their own weight, but you know, if need be, we're gonna carry each other as well. You know what I'm saying?
What about you? I know. I don't want to get too much into the writing part of what you've been doing because that shit has me so stoked as fuck. Like, I'm like, man, I need part 3 already, but I gotta wait because it's on your time. I'm like, but I need it now because I need to know what's going on. So,
I'm glad you enjoy it, man.
Because I say that because I was looking into some like stuff upcoming for this year, like upcoming movies. There's supposed to be some decent video games coming out, but upcoming movie wise, The Last Ronin. See, this is that book got my freaking heart like tug apart and everything.
So everybody, what he's talking about is I've been writing. I call it a written impression to The Last Ronin. So it's pretty much, I give you a window into what my mind is thinking or how my mind is perceiving the story. So it's going to be from material that's already made, but it's going to be from my perspective of how I viewed it as I was reading it. You know what I'm saying? So as what he was talking about was that this book here I've been writing and only able to release it a part at a time, which you gave me the idea because dude, if I would have did it the way I was gonna do it, dude, it would have taken so long. But you gave me the idea to release it in parts, which has really made it a lot easier, and I can really focus on a specific part. Instead of like, thinking of all this and then like backtracking all the way back. And now I can concentrate on specific parts, like really, really dissect it. Because what I've been doing is I've been writing as I read it. And then when I actually type it up, I read through it again. Like I go through it again. I always keep the visuals with me the whole time because I've noticed by doing that, it's influenced me changing up my original writings, and then everything just kind of it's weird how words come together, but everything ends up coming together into something where you're like, okay, it ends up coming into something where you're like, okay, this is pretty good. You know what I'm saying? So it's been nice. So I appreciate you giving me that idea. That's been pretty cool. Plus with your reaction to it, with you waiting on each part, like, that really gives me motivation to write more, And when I write, man, I want people to have these emotions. Those are my intentions when I write. I want people to have these emotions and feel a certain way, and actually want more of this material because this really pours out of my heart and soul what I put into writing. You know what I'm saying? I put a lot of time into it. I do a lot of tweaking until it's almost like if a painter would use paint, I'm using a fucking pen with my words, you know what I'm saying? And I'm painting. Sometimes I gotta, if I don't really like this, sometimes I gotta cover something up, put something over it. All right, this fits in better. And then by the end of it, it's like, all right, this entire piece of work that I'm happy with. You know what I'm saying? So I've been enjoying writing it. Remember, everybody, if you want to check out my written impression of the last Ronin, it is on Wattpad. I'm noticing with Wattpad, a lot of people have never even heard of it. So, Wattpad, y'all should be paying us for a shout out, man. But yeah, man, Wattpad. Wattpad is it's an app that I know you can create stories. I haven't really looked into it extensively. I've just been like posting what I've been writing, but I know you can write stories, you can read stories as well. And this is like independent people, like people just like you or me. Like we can post our stuff on there and people can read it. You can make your own like cover art to your stuff on there. So it's pretty much like it's also like a digital independent library of, stories by, writers, what I'm saying? People that are, just like you and me at the crib writing, have something that we want to put out and we putting it out to the world. You know what I'm saying? So that's the app that all these writings are featured on is Wattpad. So check out Wattpad. Go to your app store. You got it in your app store. WATTPAD. Wattpad. That's what I've been writing my things on. And
what through I know you've already been through I've been with you on that one, but like you've been through 3 parts so far. What in the first 2 parts of this story have kind of like thrown you for a loop? What's pulled at your heartstrings? What's kind of pissed you off? Without giving too detailed, like what's some things, because everybody's gotta like I advise y'all to go read this for real. Y'all gonna want to, and then y'all gonna sit here and be like me, be wanting the next part and gotta wait on it. So what in the first 2 parts has gotten you to be like, man, what the is going on here? Like, why is this happening?
It starts out intense. Like,
yeah,
Michelangelo's already headed to do something that you're gonna have to read about. So he's going on this mission. I'll call it a kamikaze mission. He's going on this mission right from the start of part 1,
page 1. Yeah.
So from there, it's already like. And in the beginning, it paints this very clear picture of like what the city looks like. It's like imagine like like Fallout. The game Fallout. Imagine something like that in like New York City. Not to that extreme of nuclear fallout, but just a city full of like pollution and toxic water and shit like that. Just a place that only the most vile things could thrive in this type of place. You know what I'm saying? And then then you get more into the inner city, and you find out what's going on with the society and everything like that. So I was surprised to see that society was kind of being, well, I guess I can't say I was surprised to see that society had become what it, becomes in this story, but I was definitely surprised by the change in Michelangelo's character, because Michelangelo's he's always depicted as the funny comic relief, and for him to really let his emotions get the best of him and really have like a lot of lot of angry outbursts. You never really saw Michelangelo angry, you know what I'm saying? That was more of like a Raphael type of thing, you know? But to see him kind of embrace that when he's really, really this sweet, you know, this sweet person or turtle at heart. You know what I'm saying? And it's for that type of person to now be on the other side of the extreme. It's like the world and experiences that they've been going through. That's some there's some tough shit going on out there. If you could turn this fun-loving guy, you know, pretty much to the opposite side of that, you know. But you also know that, you know, with what Master Splinter has taught them, you also know that he's not doing this like not without a purpose. You know what I'm saying? You know if he's doing this, if he's taking these specific measures that might be brutal, you know, it really means something to him to go to that extreme in order to, you know, achieve a goal or achieve the mission, you know?
Definitely. Man.
But,
y'all need to go read it.
It's been interesting. I feel like this is going to be something that I read over a few times, you know?
Yeah.
Because sometimes even when I'm not writing, I'll kind of like breeze through and just see if anything sparks anything or if I catch anything new in the story. Because, you know, stories are kind of like putting the puzzle together. That's why, like, you know, your puzzle is incomplete because you've only got 2 parts so far, you know? You need more puzzle pieces to the story.
Yeah. You know? Oh, yeah.
But, it's been interesting. I really like the art style. The art style is very gritty, so it really puts you in that. Like when you're looking at it, it really puts you there. You feel like you could.
Yeah.
You feel like you're walking down the street, or you feel like you're on the rooftops, fucking running and jumping. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Through the illustrations and through the wording as well. But yeah, those are a few things that I'll disclose at the moment. We're definitely gonna have to do a full episode once I'm done with this whole thing, for sure.
Yeah.
Cause think about it, bro. Look, I'm pretty much like, that's where I'm at right now. Like, look how thick this is, and then that's where I'm at. Like, I'm pretty much like halfway now, so I'm almost done with it. But it's a quick read, but it's so deep. It's really, you know, and I'm taking my time with it. So I really believe what you guys are going to get is going to be very quality, because I'm not rushing it, man. If y'all gotta wait a little while. But but on the same token, I really want to get this out to y'all, man. So just know that's a priority, man. I've always dreamed of doing things like this, and you know, I still have other stories that people have never even read, bro. Like,
yeah,
that I'm gonna release. So, you know, I feel like I've been just putting stuff back in the vault for years, and now it's time to just, you know, let it all flood out and fucking start infecting everybody. You know what I'm saying?
I say that because this, I brought it up because in this year there will be a new TMNT movie called it's Mutant Mayhem, which a lot of us already, a lot of us have seen some of the old ones. But what's crazy, what I was looking through was Tom Holland will be in it. Seth Rogen's in it. And there's somebody else that's playing that plays one of the turtles. Tom Holland plays one of the turtles, and then there's somebody else that plays another one of the turtles. Because I don't want to give that whole spec away though, because that looks like it's going to be actually really damn good. So
who is Seth Rogen? Bebop or Rocksteady? Which one?
Oh, it don't say it all.
I know that nigga ain't no turtle.
Casey. I'll be damned if they get this man like Casey too. I'll be upset. I'm like, nah, Granted, I could see that, but not.
All I want to say, if y'all make him Casey Jones, I will make a petition to get rid of that movie.
But Seth's gotten to that point now, I think, of like he's stepping back a little bit from this big screen and more of behind the scenes of cut, action cut. He's doing the production. Yeah,
I like that, man. That's where I see myself doing that.
Which is what I feel like. I think he may be producing the movie.
Okay.
So if he pop up in there and he pop up in there, I'm gonna be like, oh man. But I feel like
if he did produce the movie, at least we know it's somebody that grew up with the original. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh yeah. So he knows.
Like a lot of comic book fans and shit are like motherfuckers my age. We got kids and all that shit. Like,
yeah,
we grew up in that era of comics. You know what I'm saying? I can remember always going to the library, man. Go to the library if I had to like wait for my mom to get off work or something, because she used to work downtown. So I used to get off the school bus, then get onto the city bus, go downtown, go hang out at the library until my mom got off, and then I would walk over to her building where she worked at. Yeah. So I passed a lot of fucking time going in there, because when you went in the library, they had a whole comic section. Like you could read all. That's how I got into all types of X-Men and Batman and Marvel, and that's why I'm so into that right now, because a lot of that shit like raised me. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I love those days, man. I literally used to go pick comic. I used to get like a fucking armful. Couple different. I never read them in order. Just, this cover looks dope. That cover looks dope. Oh, this cover looks dope. Let me get that one. Then I put it on the table, because there was never anybody like really in the library. Like I was that kid that was like, I was a kid that was like, I want to go to the library. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I would go there. Wouldn't really be anybody in there, and then I could just put all those comic books on the table, just spread them out on the table, and just fucking chill there and go through comics. And bro, that shit was so adult, bro. I didn't even really know what I was reading at the time, but now that I look back at it, like especially X-Men, like there was a lot of like social commentary and politics and all types of stuff, and like racism and all types of shit, like within the X-Men comics and the comics that I was reading, and I think that's why I had more of an understanding of the world, really, man, because at a young age I was absorbing all this, what's looked at as mature knowledge at a young age. And I was receiving it through this animated medium that really caught my attention. You know what I'm saying? But also, I was also reading them. Like I knew what the fuck was going on. You know what I'm saying? I knew people's backstories and interactions and stuff like that. And I think that really influenced me, like growing up. Because me and my homie was talking about this today, but we were talking about like the cartoons and shit that kids watch now, how they all fucking soft and colorful, and that's why these little kids soft, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, think about what we grew up with. The cartoons we grew up with, they were, and maybe they may have been very mature for us, but I feel like we turned out okay. You know what I'm saying? There was no it was almost like there was no trying to hide the truths of the world from us. And it's like now, either they're like masking the truth or they're like manipulating the truth.
It's too much for the generation now to handle.
Yeah. And then at the end of the day, they just don't know what the fuck is going on, because they're just like being distracted. It's like they're being constantly distracted. You know what I'm saying? From what's really going on. Like, don't look over there. What's really going on? Stay looking over here. You know, this
Yeah.
world that we want to create for you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
I know you're right, because we, like, us growing up, man, and I was the same way, and now, like, I'll sit and read, but it's hard for me too, because I'm just like, my hands have got to constantly be moving, my mind has got to constantly be moving. So sitting down is hard for me to just sit and read, unless
it's probably
I'm
best that you
peaked,
do that more often then.
peaked, unless I'm like peak interested in it,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
is when I'll sit. But like,
I'm just like that
us,
though.
like,
I'm just like
yeah.
you, bro. Like really, when it really catches my attention, I can read through.
Yeah.
When I read through something, I can almost immediately tell if I want to read anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like another important thing when you're writing, like capturing the person, like from the very beginning,
Yeah.
But what were you saying?
So like same way with me. Like, growing up, I get either after school or during the summer. Like, I was always at the library or something. Like, no matter what, comics was the one thing that was just like, I like these. I like these for the color. I like these because I know the characters already. So I'm like, what have they gotten into now that I don't know? So just sitting there reading the Naruto mangas that had come out. There was this one called Cold Case when I was little. It was just,
I remember that the little boy with the glasses.
Yeah, the glasses. That mystery shit is my shit. Like, I love some mystery stuff. You
gotta put me on. That was never something. That was never like a category I got into. So you gotta put me up on some shit.
I got you.
Yeah.
They of course, like, I don't know how it come about, but the Batman series stuff was always my favorite. The X-Men stuff, just because that was a nickname for me growing up. So I fell in love with just reading those, and then just to later, and my grandmother's like, where you going? I'm just going to the library. Well, be back when they close. All right, by me. I'll be back. I'll be back when they close. I'll be sitting there. And they got these, like, lay down. Now, like, we got these gaming chairs you can, like, sit in and rock back and forth in. At the time in the library, like, you had these lounge chairs that were like foam. You could sit back and rock back and forth and just read. And, man, whatever I did not finish at the library, I had my freaking library card, freaking thick ass plastic, and would take, like, I swear, probably 8 or 9 comics home and read all of them in the night and be like, man, I need to go take these back in the morning or something so I can get some more. So,
bro, I was notorious for being late with stuff. Notorious, bro. I probably still got outdated shit right now. They probably looking for me.
The library SWAT team coming, boy.
I know they gonna fucking run up on me, bro. I'm sorry, man. I just wanted to read some literature, man. I just wanted to expand my mind. Library.
That's
to all the public libraries that I owe DVDs and books to. I'm sorry, man. You get a worldwide apology from me. But the library became like a little sanctuary, right?
Yeah. Peace, no trouble. You ain't got to think about anything. Like, you're in your own world that you literally have built at this point. That's your happy place. That's where you.
Because you could go off and chill, man. You could go off and just be on your own and like. And then you were surrounded by like all these like different worlds. It was like you're surrounded by fucking like the multiverses, So
yes.
You have all this literature to pick from. You have, they might have some games and stuff you can do in there. Play chess or some shit like that. If you didn't have no internet at home, you could go there and get on the computer. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the library was like a little safe place, man, and I really enjoyed spending a lot of time there. And I know that definitely influenced who I am right now in my life. You know what I'm saying? For sure.
There was another book series. It's not called the Magic Treehouse. It's like Treehouse something. But it was this brother and sister. It's his brother and sister, and it was like a time traveling treehouse, and they'd go in and whatever they were like learning about in the day, they'd come to the treehouse, sit there and talk about it, and then would go and then somehow or another like travel off to that time period, and you'd learn some stuff about that time period, how stuff was, notable names, everything like that, and then like they would have a mission in that time, and then come back and be like, "Yo, that was the dopest shit," you know.
Mm-hmm.
And then off to a whole nother one. And they were numerically ordered, but it's hard because some of them like you can't. I've not been able to find them nowhere at all. But apparently they're just hard to find nowadays. So, but if y'all people out there, if y'all find out the name of the book again, send it to me. Let me know because them are the dopest shits ever. Like I would love to have that just in a whole library to itself too. It was like a prime collection because that's what I started off with before I got into comics was like a history kind of buff thing. And now I'm just like fucking history, like fucking hate it.
Dude, I've always loved history, man.
Yeah,
for some reason,
it's different because it different time periods, different sorts of things happen.
People had a different mentalities. They were different lifestyles. They believed in different things. You know, I think different it's important views. To look back at those things, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
now it's all great. Now it's all this. It's they all you know praise to a certain being and religion was a big thing to fight over back then, but it wasn't a primary thing at all. More of land and resources. Now is we fight amongst ourselves over who getting the last roll of toilet paper. And I'm like, let's go back to a king and queen, somebody getting their head cut off because y'all just being real ignorant out here today right now. So but I was telling somebody the other day, and I was like, if you could, you know, walk in a notable person's shoes in the past, who would they be? And they was just like, I you know, honestly, I wouldn't want to at all. And I was like, that's rough, first of all, because in my head I was like, that's rough, because there's always somebody like you could be like, I want to learn, you know, how it went about, like what exactly went down. Because we're told one side of what history has, and to me, I was just like, I'd really want to be in like the shoes. Well, can't really call them shoes because they was walking in Air Jesus 7s at the time, like pharaohs. Like I'd want to be a pharaoh and see how ancient Egypt ran.
You want to wear them Jesus walks?
Man, I'll kid you not. I'll stunt on them and them things. I'm gold plated and everything, boy. Don't
I'd rock that shit too. I'd rock that shit too.
Yeah.
I'd have had two of them on my arm. Like,
hell yeah.
Nah, they wouldn't even be on my arm. They'll be like throwing rose petals or something.
Right, all on the ground as I'm walking through. But I'd have loved that because you don't hear too much. Like the ancient Egyptian stuff is so like quiet down. Like it's the biggest mystery out there of what's going on and what they had at the time and how like ahead of a lot of other civilizations were. And I've always had a fascination with like ancient Egypt and everything too. So that's a definite stop I want to make is go out to Egypt and see the pyramids and Valley of the Kings and everything. So it'd be nice though. It'd be nice.
Yeah, I've been playing that Assassin's Creed Origins, man.
Man,
I've been climbing pyramids and all types of shit and finding little secret caves, and I love that shit, man. For real,
so did you get it? You played Valhalla?
No, man. I gotta finish this one, but I do want to play that one though.
Yeah, I feel like that's a whole lot. I feel like that's a whole lot of you for sure of like Viking style sword fighting, um, say everything like that. Like I'm like that's definitely him right there.
I'm definitely like with that type of stuff. I have to like now that I'm like immersed in the Egyptian, I have to like finish it, and then I'll like go. You know, I'll switch roles over to the cold side. You know what I'm saying? But I definitely want to play that. Man, there's so much I want to play, bro. That I just. I just gotta find out. I just gotta find out how to get paid to play video games and do everything else I'm doing.
Right. For sure.
Yeah, man. Because I want to play God of War. You know, speaking of the Norse, I want to play God of War. I want to get a PS5 just to play that. I want to get.
I said the same thing.
Yeah. Dude, I'm a sucker for a story, man. I love.
Oh, man, I
love getting caught up in the story, bro. Like, that's why I used to love the Uncharted series so much. Like, I felt like I was playing a story, playing a movie. You know what I'm saying? I was actually invested in the characters. Like, you're invested in the character you're actually playing. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, when you're in fucking gunfights and shit, you're taking extra care with them because you don't want this motherfucker to die. You done connected with him. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, Uncharted was that's one of my favorite series, like, you know, a series of games of all time.
Yeah.
God of War as well, because I've been playing God of War for a minute, bro. I remember
since we was youngins.
I'm gonna tell you a quick God of War story.
That's good.
So I used to work at the grocery store, stocking the grocery shelves and shit. And I had a what was he from? Cambodia? Yeah, he was Cambodian. His name was Tun. Shout out to Tun, man. I don't know whatever happened to you, nigga. I moved away, and I ain't been there in years. I hope you're doing good, bro. Charlotte, North Carolina, baby. Shout out to Tun. Tun, if you ever see this, man, much love to you, bro. But yeah, man, Tun is the one that put me up on God of War, because we used to, you know, when you stocking and then you got, you know, another guy that stocks as well, you know, y'all gonna be talking and doing work and shit, you know, so we would talk about shit like that gaming and, you know, shit to pass the time. But, so we were talking about a game one day, and then he said, you ever play God of War? And I never even heard of it. And I kind of looked at him like, the fuck is God of War? You know? And he was like, bro, I'm telling you, play this game. And this was back when GameStop was like the shit. Like, GameStop was the place to go to. Like, people used to camp out the night before, you know what I'm saying, outside of GameStop. I remember those days, bro, just for a new game that's coming out. I remember that type of shit, you know? So, you know, this is when I didn't have a car at the time, but, you know, I used to always have to get my video game fixed. So I would take the city bus up to GameStop. I usually would go on like a payday. You know what I'm saying? Because they had those like, you know, half price games and used games and shit like that. And I would be the type of motherfucker to be like, all right, I can get a newer game for $25, or I can get 3 games for $25. You know what I'm saying? I used to think of it that way, so I have more shit to play. If I really wanted something, I would like save the money to get it, but. Yeah. I was usually trying to play for like quantity, because I used to be heavily into gaming. You know what I'm saying? That used to be all I fucking did was game. But end up going to GameStop on the bus and looking for this God of War. So I go in there and start to go on my search, looking around. Go over to the G's, and I see it right there. I see fucking Kratos on the cover. I think he had his blades or something. I forget. This is the very first God of War. I think he was kind of like hunched over with his blades, kind of like he's about to fuck some shit up. So I see this, and you know, I was the type of person that when I bought a game, like if I went to GameStop, I was there reading the back of it, reading the features. Like I took my time with video games. You know what I'm saying? So I picked the right one. So I started looking on the back, and I think it had like you familiar with the Hydra, right? From Greek mythology. Yeah. I think it had like on the back of it, had, you know how they just had like little pictures of the game on the back so you could see it. I think it had like the Hydra on there. because the Hydra was the first one that you fought, like the first boss that you fought. Because I think you started out on like a ship, and then you end up fighting the Hydra, and then you kill the Hydra, then run through the Hydra's mouth and shit. That was the first game as well where you did shit like that. Like after you killed a big beast, you would like run through his fucking stomach and shit like that, you know. It was really showing how small Kratos was in this world of like Titans and shit. But I started looking for God of War, found it, started looking on the back of it, and I'm like, okay, this already looks like it's gonna be good. Man, I went home and popped that thing in, bro. Instantly hooked. Instantly a fan forever. And this was back when they had the different view. Like they have that over the shoulder view now. This is back when they had that, you know, that wide view, you know what I'm saying? Where you can really like, where you could like really swing at a bunch of different opponents at once. You know what I'm saying? It was wider. Started playing that, man. As soon as I started working with those blades on the first level, I was like, okay, I'm hooked. And then on top of that, it was Greek mythology too, and that was something that I was always into. That was like the only thing I would like really pay attention to in English when I had like English class in high school. That was the only thing I would get like good grades at because I was actually interested in it.
Yeah.
So I've always loved Greek mythology. So it had Greek mythology in there, and then as you went through the game, you actually started running into gods and you know different characters. These different characters that I had been reading about. You know what I'm saying? So I just totally got absorbed in it. And then in the first one you, the gods were helping you. So, you know, you got to have like Zeus's fucking thunderbolt and I forgot what the other powers that you had. And then I think in the second one you were helping the Titans. So the different Titans were giving you, their abilities to use. So I think you had like 4 abilities, like 4 little special abilities that you could use of his. And then I think the third one came out on PS3 when PS3 first came out. Because I remember the graphics, because I can't remember if it was 2. Might be 2. But I forgot who you kill, but you get something called the Golden Fleece. And the Golden Fleece can deflect attacks back at an attacker. Like if they shoot like a projectile.
Yeah.
So I remember when the third one came out, it kind of like showed that close up of, they had the trailer, had like the close up of the Golden Fleece, and it was just gold. And this is back when PS3 graphics was like top of the line. You know what I'm saying? It'll look like straight ass now. But yeah, was he trying to kill the guy? I think he went to kill the guys in the third one. He was going to like kill Zeus in the third one. And I think that might have been the last one that had like that wide view until they got into the next 2. Or I could be one off. But yeah, man, I became like a super fan of God of War, bro. I made sure I played every one, and that was a game I would play through like multiple times. You know what I'm saying? And I would like beat it on normal and then be like, okay, let me see if I can beat it on hard. You know what I'm saying? That kind of game. So, and also like the puzzles and shit like that, it made you think. And I love good puzzles. So it had that mixture of puzzles, it had action, had good storytelling. The voice acting was fucking superb. It was all around fucking just dope. So I definitely have to play the new one. It's a must. I'm gonna have to find the PS5 somehow and get to and play the new one. Because just like you waiting on part 3 of this story, I'm waiting. Yeah. I got to see what happened because the last one. Did you play the last one? Oh man, so you got 2 to play it in. Yeah, the last one really really sucked me in. That story, the gameplay, like everything that I loved about it in the beginning, because I was kind of reluctant to play it because of the new view. I was like, what's this new view God of War, nigga? I ain't used to that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You know how sometimes you don't be wanting change. But
yeah.
But I started playing the game. I was like, you know what? There's no way I'm not gonna play this. So end up giving it a try. End up falling in love with that system. You know what I'm saying? But God of War, I would definitely be a lifelong fan of God of War.
I've
fucks with it.
I've watched. Now I'm not, because I've not played it, but I've watched, and I can't really say I've watched gameplay at all, but more of like, so each part has like a trailer to it. So when you stitch them all together, it becomes like this huge movie, basically. And because I've not had a PlayStation since PS2, basically.
3 for me.
Yeah, I've watched it on YouTube, and I watched them put the whole, like, run through the whole game basically in movie style, and just the fight scenes are wild as all get out. like yeah, at this age, we grew up with Kratos, and at that time Kratos was at least in his like freaking 20s, 30s somewhere. Like, we're fully grown now. This man now is 50, out here still busting niggas up left and right. Like,
ain't missed a step.
Man, ain't missed a step. Got a whole like son and everything now, and I'm like, yo, and his son is a freaking Robin Hood badass, basically, with a bow and arrow. And I'm like, dad, go. But that is definitely a game. I just want the PlayStation 4 just for that game. Like, everybody's like, no, you gotta play Spider-Man. Fuck playing Spider-Man. God of War is where it comes to when playing PlayStation reigns.
I don't have anything against like the Spider-Man games, but they don't really like call to me to play them.
No.
You know? Like, swinging around, like, it looks dope as fuck. Like, I've watched videos, of people playing it and stuff.
Yeah.
And, like, I would have to really be in the mood to play it,
And I couldn't. Now, God of War, yeah. I play Mortal Kombat on my Xbox, and I'm still like, I haven't got the newest one, but I'm still like, yeah, this just feels like the old style right here,
Mm-hmm. I'm a Tekken man, I gotta say, man.
I will agree with you there. Tekken is the ish too.
That's another one. That's another one I've followed. I remember being a little kid, bro. Like, now the people my age will probably remember this. And let me see, do you remember a place called was it EB Games or EB Toys? But it was one of those fucking toys, those old school fucking toy stores, man. I was a kid, and this was when the first PlayStation, like PlayStation 1, was like the new thing. You know what I'm saying? I was a kid when that was the new thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like, say if I went to the mall or something and I didn't want to like go shopping with my mom for bras or whatever the hell she was shopping for, I would just go over to the game store, because they had like free games that you could play, but they would have like different sections so you could play this game, that game. So I would just go there, spend my time in the game store looking at games and shit, wait for my mom to get done with her shopping and shit like that. But I ended up coming across Tekken one day. They actually had it outside of the store. That's how they used to bait you in back in the day. They had the whole setup outside of the store. So I'm fucking walking down the mall and with my mom. I look over and I see this fucking gray thing that looks like a gaming console, and I'm like, what's this? And they have Tekken on the screen, like the first Tekken that looks all blocky and shit.
Yeah.
And they got that on the screen, and me, I'm instantly like, I need to be over here where this is.
Yeah.
So I asked my mom if I could stay there and play while she go do her thing. So she went and did her thing, and I just sat there. And you could only pick like 2 characters, because it was like the demo. Because you remember they used to have them demo tapes, or the demo CDs.
Game. Yeah.
And those used to come with the consoles. To all you young bucks out there, we used to get demo CDs that came like, say if I had a PlayStation 1, it came with demo discs. So we had a ton of demo discs. You would have fucking piles of CDs, just regular games, demos, just big pile of CDs. But yeah, man, I started playing Tekken. I literally played that till she got back, like over and over. I think you could pick Kazuya and Lei were the ones that you could pick, I believe, in the first one. But yeah, from there I just started playing Tekken over the years, and shit, I still play it today. Like, I have the newest one. I'm waiting on Tekken 8 to come out, which I'm excited for that Tekken 8, man. It's just gonna be dope. But yeah, fucks with Tekken.
That's what we need to. That's what we need to do one day. Is do a. We need to do like a Twitch stream of us play Tekken and Mortal Kombat, like shit like that, like from old times.
Mm-hmm.
I know for me, like Walmart used to be the fucking place for it, because we used to sit there and be like this, sitting there gaming on that freaking controller that was stuck to the wall.
Yeah.
Oh shit! You'd be like,
oh bro,
it hurt after a while.
Best Buy too. Best Buy.
Yeah, Best Buy. Yo,
Best Buy was the spot.
Best Buy was the spot.
Yeah, they had everything. I used to have my mom take me to Best Buy just to play games, bro. She'll take me in there. She'll be like, "All right, you got 30 minutes," and I'll just go in there and fucking go from game to game in Best Buy.
Yep.
And then be like, "Peace." Yeah, man.
They should have had like an honorary Best Buy member. Put your face on it for sure. Just right there. You see this kid, just let him be. He's only here to game, and that's it. Oh man, that was a good time.
I wonder why that stuff grasped us so much, like gaming and comics and things in that genre, in that realm.
I feel like the creators always have had, to me, and now I'm old now that we're older and stuff. You look back on it and you think creators then had to still have like that kid side of them in them still.
Mm-hmm.
Like they fell in love with it way before we knew about it, and was like, I want to make this memorable for the ones after me, and how can I do that? Let me play it now. Let me create it. And they knew what spoke to us the most. We had school all the freaking time, and here was a way for us to get away from the school day, from homework for a little bit.
That we had no interest in.
Yeah, we could none. We could sit here and snack, and all our friends be together at one time and stuff. And they found that, and they were like, oh yeah, this is gonna make the world a whole lot better. To me, is what I think now, is they made that to where this is what's gonna make the world a whole lot better, is everybody coming together to play video games under one roof. And even now, like you got esports, everybody's teaming up to play one game that nationally known. So they've got Madden, and they've got 2K and Overwatch, which is another one of my games I fucking love. They just opened up a freaking play style called Olympus too, so you get like your normal character goes in, and I think it's either like once you die or you upgrade, like you level up or something like that, you become like a Greek god in there. And I'm like, yo, I gotta go play that. So
what's it called?
What again? I'm gonna do. It's called It's on Overwatch. The game's called Overwatch. Yeah, but it's a sub game in the game.
Gotcha.
Like the Rise of Olympus or something like that. So
okay. Gotcha.
Something I'm gonna do after the gym today when I get back. Play that bad boy, because I seen it last night. But
finish off the Sunday night.
Yeah, that's how I got to do it. Get ready for the week, man. But
yeah, I want to play something too, man.
That's how it be. It's gonna be good.
I wonder if they got any good games with gold. They be putting a lot of garbage out.
Yeah,
let's see if they got anything good this month.
I seen something about Dead Space. They said something about Dead Space coming back. Like a new game for Dead Space is coming out, and I'm like, I didn't even like the first two.
Oh man, we was just talking about that the other day, bro. How Dead Space was like the first game that ever scared me.
Yeah.
Because you know what? Because like I had like I was looking at it so much before I got it, and people were just saying how scary it is and this and that, and I was like, you know what? I'm only gonna play this in a dark room. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I ended up doing that, man. And bruh, I was literally on edge the whole time I was playing that motherfucker, bro. Like, that's why I liked that game, because it actually made me like, oh shit, you know what I'm saying? Because you know it was very creative. The weapons were creative. You know, the creatures, like sometimes if you didn't kill them a certain way, or if you did kill them a certain way, they would like morph into something else. You know what I'm saying? That would come. And there wasn't a lot of ammo. Like, you were like short on ammo, so you had to like use everything wisely. I think it had like a workstation as well where you could build like customize your gun and shit. I remember they had one that like shot like saws and shit, like circular saws and shit like that.
Oh hell!
But yeah, it was an interesting game. Then it had like a little plasma gun that you could upgrade, and it was pretty dope, man. And then it had the effects of zero gravity. So some sections you went in was 0G. So you were fucking shooting shit, and you can't even hear a sound. You know what I'm saying? Because you know, you go outside in 0G, the aliens they can still live and breathe out there. So you know, you go out there, you might have to like float to the other side and shoot something in the air. It was pretty cool, man.
Yeah,
it had a good story too, man.
Boy, that was.
I think they just made a game similar to it called Callisto Protocol or something like that. But
yeah,
I think people didn't like it. Yeah. I didn't play it, but they should do a new Dead Space. The original, the 2 was like okay. And nothing beats the first one. It's kind of like, you know, you do the first one so good, it's like it's hard.
How can you bounce back from it? Yeah.
Yeah, it was one of those type. It kind of suffered from its own success. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, Dead Space is a good one, man. I definitely recommend giving that one another try.
Definitely.
Good.
What is? And we've been working this in now of doing like movie reviews and stuff. So we just did Ninja Assassin last week, and then this past weekend, let me say, we did Batman Begins and the Dark Knight, or the Dark Knight Rises, not the Dark Knight, but the Dark Knight Rises.
It was a Dark Knight.
Out of those,
we could do all of them.
Well, true. What
you know what though? I just want to interject.
Yeah.
When I first saw The Dark Knight Rises, I didn't like it, but I've watched it twice since then, and I really enjoy it. Like I see it. Yeah. I see it deeper now. So, because at first it was like, I love Batman Begins, I love The Dark Knight, but then the third one I was just kind of like, eh. But now I enjoy all three because I gave the third one a shot, you know, another shot, and looked at it in a different light. So all the Nolan Batman, those have to be my favorite for sure.
I was getting ready to ask that too. That Rises was probably one of my top favorites, I will say. Okay. Not only just because of like the fight and the conflict, the climax of it, but more of like the low end story that was there of coming from darkness, battered and broken, to saving a city that is literally, you know, after you. And some people don't understand it of, well, you know, he was a bad guy, he was a vigilante, and vigilante is not really what he was going after at all, because he was more of like he wasn't a superhero. He was just a hero that was needed because nobody else was stepping up to the plate at all. Coming to find out that his dad was a hero, just like you knew his face. You knew his face. He was just a dark knight that people were trying to figure out who he was, and only a select few got to know who he was at that time. But in 3, it had in Rises, it had me so perplexed though, because I was like, my man get his ass whooped in this movie so bad, so bad, get his ass whooped in this movie, but he didn't let that stop him from saving his people, saving his city. So I was like, yeah, that's a great title for this movie. And I've always wondered how like producers and authors and stuff, how they come up with titles for books, movies, shows, whatever. Because I'm just like, you could literally name this anything, and you named it that. And then, once I watch it, I'm like, oh, okay, now I see why you named it that. But by far, that had to be my favorite one. And then Tom Hardy just did a really good job as Bane too, and he didn't show emotion on, like, you couldn't see emotion on his face a lot, except for one time where he was crying, and that was it. But
but you could hear through his voice.
Yeah, I like how he elevated that shit too. Like you could hear when he was like happy, you could hear when he was like surprised, and like, man, this don't. And then you can hear when he was just like, this shit don't bother me. I was like, what? But
you know what I love about those 3 movies is,
what's that?
Every antagonist had a point. Every single one, from Ra's al Ghul to even the Joker, to Bane, they all had a point. Like they had points that you could agree with.
Yeah.
You may not agree with the Joker blowing up a boat, or Bane fucking blowing up that stadium. You know
True.
what I'm saying?
True.
I like that about the movies, is that the guys that Batman is going against, sometimes you're like, damn, Batman, I don't agree with you. You know what I'm saying? And I like how I can do that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. He I love the the Dark Knight when my man just, I'm gonna make this pencil disappear. You want to see a magic trick? I'm gonna make this pencil disappear. Just bam. I was like, oh, you bold as fuck, man.
I have to say the Dark Knight is probably my favorite. I think somewhere deep down inside, there's a part of me that wants to fucking run around like the Joker.
My man was everywhere. He was dressed up as a nurse. He was mixing with the mobs, like bro. I love when they're you remember when Harvey Dent is in the armored car? Yeah.
And they're in there trying to fucking shoot him, and they're fucking in the they're in the semi, and he shoots a rocket launcher at it. And I'm just like,
got a bazooka?
I just see that shit. I was like, I just imagine myself fucking doing that shit with a group of rowdy motherfuckers.
Yeah, I love this part in there. Is there's a different story for the Joker each time he goes and mentions, like, you want to know how I got these scars? There's a different story to it every single time. And I was like, how is nobody caught on? In my head, I'm like, how is nobody caught on? Like, yo, you just told this story to somebody else, but you said it was your dad. This time it's your wife. Like, which is
next time it's your wife.
Yeah, like, who did it this time to you? And I was like, how has nobody caught that at all? And I had never really paid no attention until the other day, and I was like, wow, like they really got me right there for real. I was like, this man has come up with 3 different stories for these scars.
Funny as hell. That's funny, man.
My man was just wilding.
All right, bro.
He improved a lot.
Before we get into Batman Begins, we're gonna take a brief break from that conversation to talk about the song we got to play.
Oh yes.
All right. So let me pull this thing up. Now this is another one of our family, man.
Mm-hmm.
Our whole family, man. We out here. We might be spread out, but we doing our things, man. We doing our thing. One day we're gonna bring all this shit together too, baby.
Mm-hmm.
So we got what I will call the Shinobi Podcast Artist Spotlight. I got 2 homies on here, man. One is my nephew. We got KJ Caliente. We got Nikki T. This song is called Long Way Home. Just so you guys can get a little look at the artwork. Make sure you go on Spotify, whatever other platforms they on. Stream this thing, man. Give them some love. Give them a follow.
Yes, sir.
Share this thing. All right. So we got Nikki T. We got KJ Caliente. We got Long Way Home. Now, we were talking to him earlier. My man Smoov hasn't heard the song yet, but I was telling him I've been playing this on repeat. I've especially been playing it. It's been getting me hype when I'm doing my workouts, man. And I just been, when I want to feel good, as of late, I've been putting this on. You know what I'm saying? It really, I enjoy the beat. I enjoy the lyrics. I enjoy the artistry. I enjoy the mixing. I love how this whole project came together. And fun fact, I was filming this. I was filming the making of this. So I was in the studio with my camera, filming them as they created this piece of art that we're about to listen to. So I got to see this thing from scratch, bro. I got to see all the emotions, all the doubt, the confidence, you know what I'm saying? The ideas that we all gave one another, you know what I'm saying? Everybody was part of the creative process, you know what I'm saying? And I'm happy that I got to actually be there and capture all that shit on camera. I got to capture the making of a piece of art, and, you know, I really hold that very dear. So this song is especially special, you know what I'm saying? So we're going to get into it. Let's make sure our speaker ain't on no bullshit. Okay. Bluetooth connected. All right, everybody. Remember to check out Nikki T and KJ Caliente. Check out their Instagrams. Go on their Spotify. Share this thing, baby. We about to get into it. Smoov, you ready for this thing?
I'm ready. First time hearing it too, so y'all be ready for this reaction.
All right, here we go, baby. Long Way Home. Let's get it. Shinobi Podcast, baby.
One more, swear one more. Do it for your love and girl, swear one more. We can do the dishes, baby girl, let's go. Timberland, girl, know I get caught. If you feeling me, then let a nigga know. Hit it from the back, I'ma do it, no scope. Watch how my stack, yeah, watch how money grow. I swear I want your love and girl, swear one more. I'm a freaky nigga, baby, I'ma let you know. Starting on the baby, we gon' end up on the floor. Applying on that pressure, they gon' hear it through the door. Remember back then when I used to be poor. I just want your loving, girl, I swear I want more. So far away from home, baby girl, let's explore. I don't feel the rain, and I'm feeling no more. I don't feel it no more. I took the long way home on purpose. Just to clear my mind and drown out my urges. Oh, I look alright when you look on the surface, but I hate the way that I always get nervous. Yeah, hey, okay. I can't feel my body when I'm around you. I can't see nobody else besides you. Looking like an hourglass even from the side view. You look way too good for me just to hide you. I sure good to luck cause I know these hoes are counterfeit. Watching all these other people and it kinda got me wishing. Just got me some bud, I'ma smoke it while I'm in the kitchen. Every song I make so far I hit it, you won't catch me missing. She said she don't like me but I fucked the other day. Playing all these games, I don't need it anyway. Got a bitch who pay my phone and she from the Bay. And I got another one that's right across the street. Moving bigger, better, I can never go back. Working every day, just chasing my bag. Fuck a new bitch while I'm sipping on yak. I'ma break it in till the shit goes. I took the long way home on purpose, just to clear my mind and drown out my urges. Whoa, I look alright when you look on the surface, but I hate the way that I always get nervous. I took the long way home on purpose, just to clear my mind and drown out my urges. Oh, I look alright when you look on the surface, but I hate the way that I always get nervous.
Okay.
There we go, baby. There we go.
Okay.
Nikki T, KJ Caliente.
With that. Oh,
that was mixed. That was mixed and mastered by the homie Dirk Androff. Shout out to Dirk. Shout out to everybody. If I knew who made the beat, I would give you a shout out, but I don't know who made the beat. That beat was on point. The mixing was on point. The lyrics was on point. That whole vibe was on point. Smoov, how you feeling about that?
Say it. Man, listen, I was about to tell you just run that shit again, boy.
I'm down because I was already thinking it. I was already thinking.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, I like that. I like that. You can definitely feel it. You can hear that. You can hear the vibe. You can feel the vibe all through that. I like that. Like they haven't. It was to me like I could see it being recorded. I'm like they having way too much fun, like recording this.
Bro, I've already been the other day when I was at the gym. I was listening to this with my eyes closed, and I'm like, dude, I already imagined the entire music video in my head. You know what I'm saying? And it's very like very upbeat, and you know. Yeah,
I dig it. They legit came with it in the studio when they was recording for sure. Like I like that. That is it.
And it was cool seeing that creative process, bro.
Yeah.
It was good. It was cool seeing especially like with Khalil, like because I've been watching him for so long, so I've been able to see his progress. And when I was in there, I really got the sense that he was like in his element. Like it's almost like he didn't have any doubts, you know. Of course, they were doing, you know, takes over and over and over until he got what he wanted. But he was very like experimental in the process. You know, he was trying things. He wasn't afraid to try things to see how things sounded, or switch up words, or add this here and there. And when they were working together, they worked very like calm together. You know what I'm saying? It's like very calm. You know, KJ might do something while Nick is writing, you know what I'm saying? Like feeling the vibe. Then Nick comes in, does this, and then, you know, they put it together, see what else they can add in, you know what I'm saying? So it was real cool being able to like film all that and be there and be involved in what we just heard, you know what I'm saying? And like, you know, like I told you before, man, all this shit comes out of our essence, man. We can create this shit forever, bro. You know? Yeah. You and I, as long as we got our voices, we can fucking talk forever. You know what I'm saying? There ain't no end to this, you know what I'm saying? Our knowledge doesn't have a fucking cap on it, you know what I'm saying? And you know, that's why we gotta
Man.
At some point, go your own way, man, and trust yourself. Trust that whatever comes out of you is gonna get you whatever you need in life. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Man. Right. That's a high right there. Like I like the intermission right there. Like, here, everybody listen to this, vibe out with us.
Well, shit, let's play it again and we could take a fucking bathroom break or something.
Run that shit back.
Get the people something to listen to while you wait. If you're watching on YouTube, then you probably can just skip forward. But yeah, we're gonna take a brief intermission. You got King Shinobi, you got Mr. Smoov on the Shinobi podcast, baby. And once again we have A Long Way Home, Nikki T, KJ Caliente. Let's get it.
I want more, spend 1 mile. Do it for your loving, girl, I swear I want more. We can do the dishes, baby girl, let's go. Timberland, girl, now I get cold. If you feeling me, then let a nigga know. Hit it from the back, I'ma do it no scope. Watch on my stack, yeah, watch my money grow. I swear I want your loving, girl, I swear I want more. I'm a freaky nigga, baby, I'ma let you know. Starting on the baby, we gon' end up on the floor. Applying on that pressure, they gon' hear it through the door. Remember back then when I used to be poor. I just want your loving, girl, I swear I want more. So far away from home, baby girl, let's explore. I don't feel the rain, I don't feel it no more. I don't feel it no more. I took the long way home on purpose, just to clear my mind and drown out my urges. Oh, I look alright when you look on the surface, but I hate the way that I always get nervous. Yeah, hey, okay. I can't feel my body when I'm around you. I can't see nobody else besides you. Looking like an hourglass even from the side view. You look way too good for me just to hide you. I sure good to love cause I know these hoes are kind of fit. Watching all these other people and it kinda got me wishing. Just got me some bud, I'ma smoke it while I'm in the kitchen. Every song I make so far and hitting, you won't catch me missing. She said she don't like me but I fucked the other day. Playing all these games, I don't need it anyway. Got a bitch who pay my phone and she from the Bay. And I got another one that's right across the street. Moving bigger, better, I could never go back. Working every day, just chasing my bag. Fuck a new bitch while I'm sipping on yak. I'ma break it in till the shit don't suck. I took the long way home on purpose, just to clear my mind and drown out my urges. Whoa, I look alright when you look on the surface, but I hate the way that I always get nervous. I took the long way home on purpose, just to clear my mind and drown out my urges. Oh, I look alright when you look on the surface, but I hate the way that I always get nervous.
Like they on top of the world and soft and
the taxi cab partition with the money tray. The Kimber Rami had more expensive. The sauce convention was funny face. No half off, nigga, this money way. Flip you like hacksaw Jim with the 20 gauge, no honey made. I never did it for the gram. I had a vision I was willing to enhance. Went from 720 to 4K in one night. Dumb nights. My forte is intuition, something like play stupid games and win stupid prizes. 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 Play 90 days round the business, what is paying for the rap? Play stupid games, don't come to for a cash. Spend your niggas round the business, what is paying for a rap?
you can't perform around us.
They fuck it over in the worst fashion. But if I get the yapping, it's gonna be a million purse snatches. Get your napkins, crap rapper on the menu tonight. Now get it cracking, now I'm snacking, I'm an Israelite. That shit I did was savage, all in the name status. Leviticus and tatters. Call the neighbors, get the package.
There we go, baby. We back. Shinobi Podcast. Mr. Smoov, King Shinobi.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Your loyal hosts.
Play stupid games. Win stupid prizes.
Yeah, man. That track is something special, man. Once again, we want y'all to check out Nikki T, check out KJ Caliente, check out their music, man. They need to come out with an EP, bro. Quit fucking around, man. Little EP, little fucking 6-7 song, little joint. Just throw it out there. Throw that motherfucker out there. Go spend the day in the studio and knock that bitch out. You know what I'm saying?
Fuck around and be performing out on the beach somewhere. Hell.
Real talk.
So that's mine as well. Shit.
Yes, welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. So we've reached the latter portion of today's episode. And we're going to get into what you have directly behind your head right now. The people can see. You got old Bruce Wayne, and you got the old school Joker back there. You got the Jack Nicholson. Is it Nicholas or Nicholson?
Nicholson.
Jack Nicholson. Jack Nicklaus, I think that's the golfer.
Yeah.
Old white man. That's all it is.
That's what it is.
But yeah, bro, we are Smoov and I recently watched Batman Begins, which is one of my favorite because I love origin stories.
Yeah. That manor, that house is dope, I will say. Like if that was...
That's a lot of damn house, bro.
Yeah, it is.
You need like an army living up in that bitch.
My man was like, that southeast wing. Like, God, how many other wings you got then?
just to have a wing in general. Any wing.
Yeah,
man.
like, God damn. Boy. But I will also say that is probably the man that played Alfred Pennyworth is by far the best Alfred Pennyworth.
Shout out to Michael Caine.
Yes, sir. So
I think Michael Caine's still living, unless I'm mistaken. Go ahead.
He should be. But
yeah, he was just in Medieval.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, he was just in Medieval.
That move, the origin, man, the Batman Begins is
89.
Heart. It's a pull because it's a heart tugger because it's a love story and I don't know like how to say it, like a despair mood, like vibe kind of thing. Like
he's always had a weird love story.
Yeah,
it's been just weird. Like his and Rachel's relationship has just been fucking weird.
And it's towards the end, man. Which in the middle where she's like, no, it was towards the end where she was like, when you're not Batman anymore, basically, is when we can be together. And I was like, how you get this man an ultimatum like that? Like he just
like,
he out here saving.
Stop.
Yeah, like
tell him to stop being the savior of the city.
You out here being selfish right now, homie. Like real selfish of you to ask a man that.
And what could she even give in equal value that's gonna equal being Batman?
Like you fighting. I get you fighting justice in the courtroom, but
yeah,
he got
a broken ass system.
A broken system, and he got to constantly be watching your back at that because at any time you up for grabs to get taken out, as Falcone always had you set anyways. So, man,
and she was under the she was under the guise that she was like protected by being like a DA and all this.
Yeah.
And it really showed like, nah, everybody can be touched. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And man, that was nuts. I don't think I'd ever seen like a depiction of, like, we all grew up and we've seen like pictures of Thomas and Martha laying in front of Bruce, but never an actual realization of like how that was. Like, we got told, you know, they got robbed and shot and everything, but and Batman Begins of, you know, the old man coming up and shooting them, and then us thinking, okay, well, that was just a robbery gone wrong, but it come out to be a setup job, basically, to take out Thomas Wayne, and his wife happened to be another casualty of that. But I'm jumping ahead of myself here because, like, we got to say how this came about, of us.
Let's go back to the beginning
and stuff. So
let's go back to the beginning of Batman Begins, and it starts out with Bruce as a young child, and this is where we're really introduced. This is really where the origin of Batman came from.
Mm-hmm.
Was when he was a child. It wasn't when the death of his parents happened. This shit happened early.
No. Yeah.
So Bruce and Rachel are at this big ass oversized house playing around. And I forgot Bruce took something from her that she got.
It was an arrowhead.
Okay, yeah, the arrowhead.
Yeah.
And he took it from her, ran off, and ended up stumbling across a well.
Mm-hmm.
So he ends up falling in this well, and what he uncovers is a bat cave. And the bats fucking go all over him and pretty much freaks him out and traumatizes him.
Yeah. Yeah. From there, heals up. Like, they pull him out. He's got a broken arm. Or not broken arm, broken elbow. And take him in, mend him up and everything.
Set the bone.
Yes. And then his father walks in, and they're like, "Oh, we're gonna go into the city, basically, and go watch an opera play." Which I feel they still do them now, and I've not been to any at all. And I love watching plays. Not like the energy that goes into it and everything.
You'd have to go to like your local theater or something.
Not here
where they still do that type of stuff. Yeah, we have some here. Like if you came here, we could go see some.
Word. So they
Well, I want to say something very important here.
Go ahead.
Before they go to the opera, Bruce becomes through falling into the bat cave and the bats flying all over him. He becomes like deathly afraid of bats. He can't take being around bats. He gets anxiety when he sees the fucking bat. If he thinks about a bat, he gets anxiety. You know what I'm saying? So he's really allowed these bats to hold this fearful space in his mind. You know what I'm saying? And that's all I wanted to say before you went further with the opera.
You good. But okay, and leading after piggybacking off of that, so Thomas Wayne, they have him and his wife are literally the face of Wayne Enterprises, but they have their hand in it, and they don't have their hand in how Wayne Enterprises runs at all. They more of stick to the hospital. They're the hero faces to the people there.
And there's
so he's on
a
the
board
train
that actually runs the company.
Yeah, so they're on the train, and he tells them about how they built the train, the railway, and everything for that, and made Wayne Enterprise like the focal point, the center of that whole thing. And it Thomas Wayne wasn't a person of. He wasn't a snooty person at all. He was a person. He was a man for the people. People that didn't have the means was the people he sought to take care of.
He really understood what good of a fortune he had, you know.
Yeah. So he made sure to take care of the less fortunate. And then, we get to the opera, and in the opera there are people that fly around. They've got these bat masks on and everything too. So it kind of, like you said, it fucks with Bruce a lot. So
they did look creepy as fuck though.
They
real talk, dude.
they had more of the man bat, like you remember. So another villain later, they had the man bat like face and stuff.
Yeah.
So I could definitely see that for sure. Of like, yo, these motherfuckers is kind of creepy. Like, so they take off after that and stuff, and
this when Bruce views these bats on stage, these man bat creatures, it kind of it triggers these these traumatic flashbacks of him and the bats in the cave. You know what I'm saying? And Bruce wants to leave, so that's why they end up leaving the play, and they end up in this alleyway, which Smoov is leading you into.
So they step out into the alleyway, and there's a dialogue between Martha and Thomas, and they she's like, well, what's wrong? And he's like, it's not the boy at all, it's me. Like, I got tired basically, and I was ready to go. And I was like, okay, well, you'll take that. But he's a man that's also protective of his family at any times. This man, the robber walks up on him, gun pulled and everything, and asks for wallet and jewelry, and he's like, okay, here's my wallet, take it and be gone, and the dude literally emphasizes, he's like, I said jewelry too. So he looks at Martha and goes, like, points the gun at her. And to me, like, I'm always like, had Thomas not moved, what could have been, because who knows if the gunman would have actually pulled the trigger or not, but he might have just ripped the pearls off of her and that was it and just been gone. And what would have happened from then? Like, what would the story have become then? But
I was thinking that too while I was watching it. I was like, why did you jump in front of her? That was my first reaction. I was like, why did you just jump in front of her, bro? I'm like, you could have like kept it calm, like you were keeping it calm, and been like, just tell her, hey, baby, take off your shit, fucking pearls or whatever you got. Like, give him this shit so he can fucking get out of here. Because the guy was already fucking nervous and shit. Like, you don't fuck around. You don't fuck around with somebody that's nervous with a gun. That's how you get shot. You know what I'm saying?
Already, because he's already jumpy as it gets. So any kind of movement's gonna throw him off. And he takes him, runs off, and Bruce is just standing there at first, and then he's kind of like on his knee after a while. But his dad looks at him and says that it's going to be okay. Don't be scared. It's going to be okay. And you hear that throughout the movie too, at other parts of the movie. It has a rolling effect going on. But that's when we get introduced into Jim Gordon, and he's just a cop at this point, not even. Well,
not the commissioner yet.
Point. Yeah, he's not the commissioner yet. He's not a detective. He's not a detective either. He's just
he's a uniform cop. He ain't shit.
Yeah, it's just so he talks to Bruce and lets Bruce know like everything's gonna be okay, and the killer had gotten caught finally, so we're like, okay, well, there's a win for Bruce now. but you can see in his face like that didn't do anything for him at all. Like, okay, you caught the killer. My parents are not here. You know, like I still lost in the end, regardless of what happens.
Still had that emptiness.
Which then kind of, you know, now you feel that sad, like you're a little happy, but now you feel that sadness a little bit for him because you're just like, damn, like an orphan and you know, you're not at the age to run anything, no business wise, nothing like that. And then we're introduced into Alfred, who his caretaker, his butler. I feel like that's his right hand man, basically. Like
that's the homie for real, though.
That's the from day one.
And I'm talking about not just the homie that got your back, but the homie that's gonna tell you when you fucking up.
Yeah.
That's gonna be real with you. That's gonna give you tough love if you need it. You know what I'm saying? But he's that motherfucker that's always gonna be there.
Alfred's been through some shit in his life, like his pastime where he was in the military and everything, and
I don't know much about his past, bro.
They've got a show actually on him called Pennyworth. They got a show on him. But at the time, like us growing up and stuff, like there was no knowledge of, you know, his backstory whatsoever. But
he was just the old dude that did stuff for Bruce.
Yeah. But he had he's got military background and everything. So he takes care of Bruce while he's growing up. And then it spans, and Bruce is gone for a while. I think they said like 7 or 8 years or something like that.
7 years.
Yeah, and this is where my man just went through a journey to legit find himself for real.
So he ends up, we transition to Bruce in was that the Himalayas they were at?
Yeah.
Prison. And how he got in a fucking Himalayan prison.
That's why I was like, what?
You end up finding out later. But he's in this Himalayan prison, and he has other prisoners in there that pretty much their goal is to kill him, you know? So we go to a scene of him getting lunch. One of the guys comes up to him and warns him, like, hey, them dudes over there, they ain't gonna rest until they kill your ass. So one of these guys that wants to kill Bruce walks up on him, like he the shit. What did he do? Did he knock his tray out his hand?
Yeah, he did. Like the old school, like school bully for lunches. Walks up and smacks his tray out, and he's just like, "For real? Like you want to do this now?"
So in a nutshell, Bruce proceeds to beat the shit out of him. So as Bruce gets taken away, because the guards want to protect the other prisoners from him, and
the man said, "We're taking you away for protection." And he was like, "I need protection.
I don't need
There's
protection."
7 of them. He's like, "There's 7 of them." He's like, "No, from you." He was like, "What?"
So from there, the guards drag him off, toss his ass in this dark, dingy cell, and lo and behold, from out the shadows, Smoov, who do we see?
Good old Ra's al Ghul. Ra's at this time, because he's not legit Ra's al Ghul. Let's say. But he literally tells him, he's like, you've got a fighting spirit, and I'm paraphrasing here because this is not word for word what he told him, but he basically was like, you've got a fighting spirit, and there's much more use for you in this world than you rotting in a prison, basically. He puts him on this mission to go and find this wildflower, blue, that only grows on the mountain. He's like,
beautiful flower too.
It really was. I hate what they did with it, but it was. I
want to find it.
Hey, depending on how you use it, it could be a good thing.
I would love to face my fears head on, man.
Literally like that, my man. So he finds this flower, and it is snowing. It is freezing out there, and my man's wrapped
in the
up
mountains,
and everything.
bro.
In the mountains. And normally, like, you think like you're not going to see many people in the mountains at all, but as he's traveling through the mountain, he literally walks into a village.
Wasn't that crazy? When I was looking at that, I was like, bro, these people live in this. Like, they live in this, bro. Like, they ain't going nowhere else. They live in this. Yeah.
And flourish in it. And the part that got me, and it for a little bit, it didn't make any sense at first. And he was just like, no, you turn around and stop. The older man was like, turn around, stop right there, and just go back down the mountain, because whatever you're going for up there is not what you're wanting at all. And Bruce just looks at him, and he just carries on. And I was like, okay.
I didn't notice he said that until because I was watching this one with subtitles, because I've been learning that when I watch it with subtitles, I catch parts of the story that I missed, like just watching through, and I'm like, oh, you know what I'm saying? And it brings the story like back together for me. So that very part you just said that the old man said about him turning back, I never realized he said that until I watched it this time. I didn't realize he had said that. I was like, oh shit, he told him to go back. You
not want what's up there at all, buddy. So Bruce gets up there, and he thinks he's about to get jumped for real, because as he walks in, like, they circle him basically, and he brings the wildflower out and shows it. And then they do kind of and then Roz does test him at that point. And then he meets the actual Raj Al Ghul, the old Japanese man. I feel like every Japanese villain has that, like, that like mustache style that hangs down. I like it, but I'm just like, I swear every Chinese, Japanese villain has that going on.
Is that a Fu Manchu? I don't know if that's a Fu Manchu. That mustache.
Mm-hmm.
I'd look that shit up.
That's dope. But yeah, I do like it though.
He also played in The Last Samurai. I don't know if you knew that.
I didn't.
He was he was the one that actually captured Tom Cruise. He was that leader.
Get some points, basically.
Yeah, that was him. Yeah, I think his name is Ken Watanabe. Ken Watanabe, I think his name is. He always plays good characters. Yeah, I be following these actors and stuff. Yeah,
you got to. So I gotta get back into it. They So
this place looks like a monastery. It's like a wooden monastery.
Yeah, high
training
on this
facility.
High on this mountain, which still threw me off because of my favorite part of like any fight scene was them training on the ice and fighting on the ice. And I was like, how is this lake of this sheet of ice is just up here on top of this mountain? Like, it made no sense to me whatsoever for the longest time. And I was like, I'm still puzzled at where'd y'all go, because there ain't no way you could have trained on a sheet of ice like this on the top of the mountain, and there ain't no water just running around like that.
Well, it's probably just water that just froze up there, and it got so fucking cold. It could have been like that time of the year too. You know what I'm saying? Like when some
little crater or something. It was dope. I say it's one of my favorite scenes just because of one. it's ice on top of that. Like you have no sure balance, no sure footing on ice.
Hell no.
And you've got to train yourself to literally balance out on it, and keeping a solid footing at all. And with them, they are sword wielding and back and forth with each other. So you're sliding around, you know, and you can't get distracted because you'll slip around and fuck up and be done, fell into a soft spot in the ice. But he gets bested. Bruce gets bested by Roz, and then turns the tables on Roz and has Roz on the ground. But he teaches him a valuable lesson of, you know, you gave up a kill shot basically for foot placement and for sure footing in this case. And he literally just like barely hits this ice patch, and Bruce just plunges down and like holding on. And I was like, oh, that's a definite life lesson right there to learn is know your surroundings wherever you go.
No doubt.
And make sure and make sure who's with you, who's around is solid to have your back to keep you, you know, going and afloat. Because at any time, Ross could have literally just left him there and been like, all right, now you got to fend for yourself, basically. But, you know, took him out and got him back to 100%.
And after this, he and Bruce actually share like a very close moment. And Roz actually opens up to him about some of his past history, which, you know, with filmmaking is also important for people to identify with Roz as well. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I believe he lost his wife. And I noticed like a lot of these villains, they become villainous out of like pain and hurt. You know what I'm saying? For something like some love lost. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That shit like stays with them, and it really influences their actions. You know. So he's learning. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was going to say Roz just got a really good. He's got a really good point, though. How he becomes an anti-hero, basically.
Yeah, because I agree with a lot of what he says. You know, especially about Gotham. You know, Gotham has become this cesspool of crime and corruption and violence and, you know, in a way, slavery. And you kind of understand where he's coming from when he's like, this place needs to be destroyed and cleansed. You know what I'm saying? Because it does need to be cleansed, but I guess that's like subjective as to the means of doing it. Because at the end of the day, I don't think there's really a good and an evil. There's like two opposing views of how Batman wants to clean up the city and how he wants to clean up the city. Or how the League of Shadows wants to clean up the city, you know?
Yeah.
So there's really no right and wrong, I don't believe. You know what I'm saying? Because you think about it, you know, Batman's methods, have they really changed much in Gotham, you know? Because, you know, Batman doesn't kill, you know, any of the guys. He takes them back to Arkham Asylum, which they usually end up breaking out again and doing same old shit. It's just like this repeated, it's like this repeated cycle with Batman. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So is that approach better than, you know, completely destroying the city to cleanse it? You know, you can really argue that, you know, because Batman's results, what kind of results has he really had? Like he's gonna
they're not proving anything.
He's gonna be fighting. Yeah, he's gonna be fighting to the day he dies to try to like make a dent in things. You know what I'm saying? Then he's gonna be all old, like on Batman Beyond, trying to get some young kid to do it for him. You know what I'm saying?
Boy.
But yeah, man. So
They,
I was going to say, from there we get this nice montage of Bruce going through training. Raj is now pretty much his mentor or sensei, whatever you want to call him, and he's teaching him the art of the ninja. He's teaching him how to mask himself within the shadows, how to use the shadows to your advantage. He's teaching him how to use explosive powders. You know, he's learning how to toughen his body. You know, he's learning balance. You know, that wooden thing he was on, and they were like hitting him with the poles, and he had to like block and fall. Like, I'm into that. That's my type of shit right there.
yeah.
But you go through this dope montage of him, you know, learning and progressing. And this montage, I guess, I don't really know how long he was actually up there. But, you know, this is over time because he ends up becoming, you know, groomed. He's being groomed to be the leader, to be their leader, you know, to lead the men. So he comes to one of my favorite parts after he's made his progression. He's gone through his training. They deem him ready to start leading the men. But before he can lead the men, he must conquer his own fear.
Yeah.
He must conquer what he's most afraid of. He must look at it face to face, you know. So this is pretty much his last task or his last little initiation, you know. So that blue flower that we spoke of earlier, they pretty much grind it up and kind of make it and pretty much vaporize it, and Bruce breathes it in. So it begins to give him this hallucinogenic effect, you know, that will pretty much bring your fears directly to the forefront. You know what I'm saying? So you want to go further with what happened during this?
Shoot,
it's one of my favorite parts.
It's a legit like you said, it's a conquering fear. It's a training exercise. It's a battle of the mind, basically. But I'm gonna call them grunts at this point. I'm not too sure. You know, really, I don't think they're grunts at all. But they're at this time, like these grunt shinobis are all together, and for him to be ready at this point, he's got to face his fears. He's got to face Roz at the same time, but having to know who your opponent is when there's multiples, there's a mix up and everything going on.
And your fear is right in front of your face.
And your fears at the same time. I thought that was the dopest shit ever, though, when they switched up everybody and their eyes were like bluish, like white.
Yeah.
I thought that shit was dope as hell.
Now remember, all the ninja that are lined up, like they change formations in an instant. And they also attack him out of nowhere, so he doesn't know where the attacks are coming from. He don't know if it's Roz, if it's a decoy. So this whole time, he's pretty much in a sea of ninja, walking through with his sword, trying to find where Roz is, while also dealing with these hallucinogenic bats, you know, that are flying around, you know, which he's always which he's feared since the day he fell in the well. You know, so.
He becomes smart though. He's figuring out his environment, and then he gets cut. He gets cut. That's the one wound you see. And as he's walking through this and everything, Roz is kind of like talking to him at the same time and still giving him teachable lessons at the same time. But Bruce gets this like master freaking plan, and he's like, he looks down at his scar. He's like, okay, you know what? I'm part of the League of Shadows. I've gotta put myself within the ranks right here to conceal myself from him. I'm on a chase for him, he knows where I am. He knows where he is. I don't know where he is at all. So he's like, I'm gonna flip the table. I'm gonna make him come find me. You know. So he slashes. He cuts 2 or 3 of the shinobi, and he kind of like seals himself away with his sword and everything. And as Roz is walking through, looking for him, he sees one of the shinobi with the scar, and he grabs him and holds his sword up to him, and he says something to him, and Bruce is like, "Yeah, I did," and he walks up behind him. And he's got his sword to Roz's neck, and I was like, "Oh shit, okay, so you got your dove for the moment now." So after that, everybody kind of like splits off. They go back in, and the true Ra's al Ghul stands there, claps, and he walks down. He's like, now here's your final task for you to finally lead these men. And he's like, where am I leading them to? And he's like, to Gotham. You're getting ready to go clean up, you know. But he's got to take a life in order to be fully initiated through, basically. And this is where he goes with the whole I don't do this for killing. I'm not killing anybody to do right, basically. So he turns Ra's down. He turns Ra's al Ghul down, and in that mix, there's tension that builds. And he knocks out freaking Ra's. And I'm still trying to figure out how he knocked him out, and he was just out cold for the whole fucking fight. But him and the real Ra's al Ghul go into a legit sword fight. And you start thinking like, ain't no way Bruce is about to win this. This man has got years of training done. He's an expert at this, you know, because he wouldn't be grooming these other men to do this if he was not good at it himself. But Bruce literally blows the monastery up, basically. Kills the Ra's al Ghul, gets a hold of Ra's and kind of takes him back down the mountain, back down to the village, and, you know, tells him to take care of him, and everything. And from then, you see him. He's walking towards a plane. He's coming back to Gotham, basically, at this point. And then that flight home, is kind of funny because he's talking to Alfred, and Alfred's like, "You've been gone for 7 years. Like, we didn't think you were even coming back at all." He's like, "You had me pronounced dead, basically." And he's like, 7 years. He's like, freaking 7 years. Ain't nobody seen you. Like, we don't know. So
really?
They didn't know. So they come back home, and Gotham is nothing like he knew it was when he got back at all. Everybody's grown up. Everybody's done their own thing. His childhood crush, childhood best friend is a DA assistant, and
yeah, she's trying to use the system to clean up the city. Yeah. She believes in the system, so she's working through, you know, the judicial system to try to clean things up.
And that was pretty cool to see her first reaction to him coming back home, and he just does this whole like, I don't know who I am still. So he's like out here flaunting money, and two different girls at different times, and there's a part
just living like a man want to live.
There's a part that he does that cracks me up because he's like, they're at a restaurant, and he goes, he was like, the server comes over, or I guess the manager at this point walks over to him. He's like, "Sir, there's no swimming in the like the decorative pool right here." And he goes, "I'm gonna make some changes here. I'm gonna just buy the hotel. How about that? Now everybody can just go swim." He goes, jumps in, and they get in the Lambo and stuff, and That shit was hilarious to me. But he they pan over to, what is that? There's a part that kicks in. It's kind of important.
Remember, it goes back to when he came back home for the hearing of his parents.
That's it.
His parents' case.
And that's when Rachel sees him, and
because she actually takes him to the hearing.
Yeah,
because she comes to the house and she tries to convince him not to go.
Mm-hmm.
But so he's pretty adamant on going. So she takes him to the hearing.
He's all like groomed up a little. The killer is all kind of groomed up and stuff, and he does his whole like apology and everything. But you can't. I don't like. To me, like, I just couldn't hear the sincerity in his voice at all. To be like, you wasn't sorry at all, but okay. And Bruce could kind of tell that too. Like, he gets up, and the judge is like, I understand. There's somebody here, a part of the family. Do they have anything to say? And you think Bruce is going to stand up and raise Cain and everything, and do something out of retribution, but he doesn't. He gets out and he walks away. But then it comes to Bruce is trying to conceal a revolver at this point. And you're like, well, damn, we thought you was going to do, just walk away and be done with it. You actually come back for some legit vengeance. So
Bruce came back to put some holes in him.
He was ready with that revolver. And that thing was small, like his hand covered that revolver for real, and then he slid it in his sleeve.
That's why he's gonna make sure he was gonna get close.
He was, so he gets ready to, and Rachel sees him, and she like walks to him to kind of like grab his attention because she sees like he's upset and he's walking back over, and at that point you hear a gunshot go off, and you're like, he really just pulled. You think he pulled the trigger, but he's not moved his arms whatsoever. Like, he's still standing there. So him and Rachel take off and everything, and Rachel sees the revolver that he shows her the revolver, and she just slaps him, and it's kind of a sign of like, you really was going to stoop that low to kill somebody, to try to bring some kind of justice your own way and not let the system take care of it at all. And Bruce is at that point like, that's a broken system. Like, no matter what you do, they're gonna get away, whatever. And that's where he finds out about Falcone, who is like this crime lord, basically.
Pretty much has everybody in his pocket, the fucking chief, the mayor, anybody, politician, anybody has any kind of power. Yeah, he pretty much has them in their pocket.
And he lets Bruce know this because Bruce walks in to the restaurant and sits down in the restaurant with him and gets tussled. He gets tussled with a little bit, and the Falcone's like, he's like, you see them over there, politicians, judge, police officers, lieutenants, everything. He's like, I could kill you right now, and nobody's gonna say anything. You're Gotham's billionaire, and I'm the crime lord. Nobody's gonna say anything about that at all. So,
he gets up, man.
Yeah. He gets up and they throw him out and everything. And there's a little comic relief, and the homeless dude's like, you should have tipped better. And I busted out laughing at that part. I was like, yo. I was like, that's hilarious right there. You should have tipped better. You got thrown out for not tipping well at all. And Bruce kind of goes into this whole mindset of, okay, I'm gonna fix it how I want to fix it now, and he swaps with the old man, gives him money and stuff like that, and then you pan to him. He kind of takes a business approach all of a sudden, and goes up to Wayne Enterprises and all the board members are like, well, Bruce ain't been around in years, and we've got to take care of all this stuff and everything. And Bruce is standing out there. Bruce is out there teaching golf lessons.
Before then, we have to say that when he gave the homeless man the coat, like he went off he went off the grid. And that's when he did a series of things. Like he wanted to get into the mind of the criminal. So he actually went out in the world and became a criminal to learn the criminal underworld. And from there, he actually ended up getting busted stealing a shipment. And the shipment it's funny because the shipment was actually from Wayne Enterprises, so he got arrested for stealing his own shit. And that's how he ends up in that in the mountains in that prison.
Yeah.
Then from there, that's when he, goes up the mountains, gets in the League of Shadows. So now the movie comes back to like present day when Bruce has returned from, when he left the League or escaped the League of Shadows and that whole situation. All right, so we're going to have to cut it off right there, but I'm going to take a note to see where we stopped at. So that's a good one to stop at because now the movie's going to start, progressing into another direction. All the origin, all the setup and everything is done. And now it's about to like really get into like the meat of the story, Bruce actually becoming Batman, learning what it takes to become Batman, him getting hooked up with trial and error, him getting hooked up with Lucius. He becomes a key character because he made all the Batman shit, So we're gonna get into that on the next episode.
Next time on the Shinobi podcast.
We stop at Bruce comes back. All right. Got a little note for us so we know where to start off from next episode.
Word.
All right, baby. There you have it, everybody. That is another episode of the Shinobi podcast with your man, King Shinobi, Mr. Smoov on the track.
Yes, sir. You know it.
Yeah, man. We knocking these things out. We making them happen, baby. Let's continue,
Keep
man.
Moving and moving.
Moving and grooving.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. So
yes,
thanks for everybody for joining us in our conversation. We're gonna talk more about Batman. I hope you guys learned a little bit. We talked about a little comics, talked about the library, and speaking of the library, man, find you a nice little quiet spot you can get by yourself. So a place there you can go into a different world for a while. You can use your imagination. You can excite that inner child that you have. You know what I'm saying? We need that, man. We need it. We got to stay in that energy. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, find you a nice space. Find some peace. Get away from your phone screen. Open up some pages and read some books, man. Me, I like to read books and, depending on what I'm reading, I like to, write as I'm reading. That's why it usually takes me a while to read some things. So I'm like, I really want to absorb this. Read a little bit, write to it, see what I absorb. You know what I'm saying? But everybody has that thing. But like they used to say, reading is fundamental. Reading is fundamental.
It is.
Right? Siri can't read for you, but she can't read no paperback, nigga. Not yet, anyway.
Nah.
Yeah, man. Thank you guys for joining us. We'll be back next week for another episode, man. Today is, the 15th? January 15th. Episode 6 dropped today at 12 p.m. Remember, go to YouTube, check that out. Go to our Spotify. Check out our TikTok and Instagram. That Patreon is still in the works. It's gonna come. You best believe. You best believe.
It'll be there.
This is a temporary background. I'm redoing the studio, so next few episodes it's gonna be all different here. It'll be the official, Shinobi podcast background. I've been working on blueprints. I've been doing the measurements, and we've been getting it done, man. But yeah, thank y'all guys for joining us. Thank you guys for being here as we continue to progress and evolve. You guys are evolving with us. We continue to get better and better, and you know, I hope the people are getting what they need. You know.
Oh yeah.
You got anything to drop on the folks before we get out of here?
Man,
let them know where you at. Let them know what you think.
I'm on Instagram. I'm on TikTok. I'm on here, guys. Like, don't hesitate. We the link tree to every social media is on Shinobi's page, is on my page. So if you can't get in, you're not doing the work to get to it.
You ain't looking hard enough.
You're not looking hard enough. We are on. We've got Cash App. We do have Cash App though. Everything that you guys put into that comes literally right back into this. So we appreciate y'all for that. That Cash App is Shinobi Pod 7, POD 7. Yep. So
don't forget your dollar
like
sign.
Said, don't forget the dollar sign there, because you mess around and send it to the wrong person, you're gonna be upset.
Make sure that comes back to the pod, man.
Yeah, because everything.
We can make this production even better, and we can start hiring some people, man.
Yeah, that's the big part. That's the big part.
That is the big part. Like, we got to get it so we can start hiring a crew up in here, so that way we can have a team. We can have a well-oiled machine going. That's what we're looking to do. So anything you guys donate to us is going to go towards that. Anything we need cameras, we need this, that. We pay for software. We do fucking yearly subscriptions on different platforms, you know, so there's a lot of investment that goes into this to create this, you know, and it's right now it's all on our dollar, you know what I'm saying? And
we're doing it for y'all though.
Straight up, and we're gonna continue to.
Y'all, man.
No matter what, we're gonna continue to do it. But yeah, we definitely appreciate your support. Any last words for the folks, man, on this episode, on this January 15th?
Stay blessed, man. It's been thank y'all for the ones that have been asking me about this too. To those that have been asking, y'all need to share it also, so we can get some more rolling in here. Stay blessed though. Stay warm. Stay positive. You know, be a light to somebody that needs it. Don't put your energy out there for people that's gonna waste it. Because then you're just gonna be an empty shell. But feed into those people that constantly are feeding back into you. So that's how iron sharpens. That's how iron sharpens iron, right there. So we'll catch you later. Like, we'll see y'all next week. So
no doubt, baby.
We gonna be here.
I want to end with something that Makami said. I was listening to a song today, and he was like, you know, he was pretty much saying like you don't get to where you want to be because you spend too much time fraternizing. Like, you spend too much time out partying and wanting to have fun and being caught up in simple pleasures that, you know, at the end of the day, you look back, you ain't got nothing to show for it but a bunch of good times. You know what I'm saying? When all that time you spent doing all that bullshit, you could have been building something to the point to where if you want to fucking go party, now you can go party whenever you want to because you done built the foundation, you know, in order to do so. If that's your thing, you know what I'm saying? So that's what I want to say before we leave out, man. Don't spend your time fraternizing and bullshitting around, man. There's a lot of shit to be done, and you know, we locked in and we focused, so we know the kind of attention that it takes. And you can't be bullshitting around, man. We're not saying don't have fun, like, don't get it misconstrued, but just know that, your time is fucking valuable, straight up. And the days and time seems like it's been in fast forward mode lately. So like, live life with a sense of urgency. You know what I'm saying? Like not paranoia, but a sense of urgency that, hey, maybe tomorrow may not come. You know what I'm saying? Let me do this today. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But, just listen to yourself, listen to your heart, man. And, appreciate and love one another, man. And that's all I got to say, bro.
Yes, sir, man.
All right, baby.
Nobody.
Go ahead.
I was about to say, nobody said building an empire gonna be easy. That's like how we were talking the other day, man. It's something that's gotta be. It's not, everybody's not built for it. So you start something, finish it, keep it moving. Let's get to the grind. Stay to the grind, man.
And just know that you're gonna need genuine alliances, man. Y'all gonna have to support one another. We can't do this shit alone. So remember that.
Nope. Yes, sir.
All right, baby. Shinobi Podcast. We signing out, baby. King Shinobi signing out. Mr. Smoov signing out. Out of here, baby. Much love to y'all.
Yes, sir.
We'll holler at y'all on the next one, baby. Peace out.